Cleveland Cavaliers Collin Sexton, photo by Jason Miller, Getty Images. This elevation in play for the Cleveland Cavaliers post-All-Star break is largely because of Kevin Love's return as well as a pretty lenient schedule. Since the big man's return, the team's two most important primary ball handlers, Collin Sexton and Cedi Osman, have both played particularly well, and are benefiting from better ball movement. Sexton, most notably, has been averaging 18.7 points per game on 55.8% true shooting in 10 games since the All-Star break, per NBA.com. Osman is putting up 14.9 points a night on 57.1% true shooting, and his three-point shooting has really shot up, as he's knocked in 44.8% since the break, per NBA.com. Despite this increased production and efficiency, the Cleveland Cavaliers and general manager Koby Altman can't let this cloud their judgment come the night of the 2019 NBA Draft. The Cavs need talent, regardless of position, and if the best player on the board is a point guard, primary playmaker or a wing, it would be foolish to pass on them on behalf of Sexton or Osman. Names that come to mind immediately are Murray State point guard Ja Morant and Duke wing RJ Barrett, of which we've both hit on extensively here at KJG. This assumes the Cleveland Cavaliers land a top 3 2019 NBA draft selection, though. There are a number of guys who could come into play later in the lottery, such as in the back half of the top 10, or with the Houston Rockets pick the Cavs acquired in the previously mentioned three-team deal involving the Sacramento Kings. To be clear, the Cavs' own pick would go to the Atlanta Hawks if it for some reason doesn't land in the top 10 range per Real GM, but that's very unlikely, given that Cleveland's pick would likely land in the top 3 as of right now, per Tankathon. Next, you can't have enough perimeter shooting. Page 2 Cleveland Cavaliers Koby Altman, photo by David Liam Kyle, NBA via Getty Images. Kobe White, a point guard for the University of North Carolina, is a guy who's been flying up draft boards. He has good size for a point guard at 6'5", and has shown ability to knock down shots, both off the bounce and off the catch. This season, he's averaged 16.3 points on 57.7% true shooting, including 37.9% from 3, to go with 4.1 assists and 3.2 rebounds per game, per Sports Reference. He's played very well when matched up against rival Duke, and with the way he's been doing in Atlantic Coast Conference play, he could realistically be a top 10 pick. The stepbacks Trevor Magnotti recently had White as the number 6 2019 NBA draft prospect on his big board, for the record. More from Cavs analysis and ACC play this year. White's put up 18.1 points on 59.0% true shooting, including 38.5% from deep, to go with 4.2 assists and 3.7 boards. Again, per Sports Reference, if the Cavs' first pick is in the back half of the top 10, they should strongly consider selecting White, even with Sexton's play on the upswing. The same could be said for Darius Garland, the point guard from Vanderbilt who missed just about the entire season due to a reported meniscus tear. A high recruit, Garland showed enough in 5 games before injury to warrant being a first-round pick. If he's the best player available when the Cleveland Cavaliers are selecting, he would be a viable option and has star potential. Though it was that 5-game sample, Garland did shoot 47.8% from 3. Osman cannot be a limiting factor, either. Next, Osman can't deter Altman, either. Page 3 Cleveland Cavaliers Cedi Osman, photo by Melissa Myshak, NBA via Getty Images. The Turkish forward has shown a lot this season, including a developing jumper and reportedly great work ethic. There figures to be a number of skilled forwards in the draft, and with the Houston pick, really, could provide solid value, such as Admiral Schofield of Tennessee and Cameron Johnson of UNC. Despite playing the same position as Osman, they need to be strongly considered. At this juncture, Sexton has shown he can be a solid NBA contributor, but he may never be a star, and that is okay. The Cavs need to consider a future with Sexton being a guy, but not necessarily the guy. Altman cannot rule out drafting a point guard, or primary combo guard, just because Sexton is on the roster. if he thinks there is a potential star at that position, whether it be White, Garland, maybe Virginia Tech's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, or Indiana's Romeo Langford, then Altman should not hesitate to pull the trigger. Osman is a little more versatile right now, as he could feasibly play the 3 or 4, which he's played 62% of the time this year, per Basketball Reference, but his natural position is small forward. Unfortunately, Osman has had issues defensively playing against more traditional FAs, though a good amount of that is due to the lack of consistent interior and perimeter help around him on Cleveland. Moreover, the Cavs can and need to draft wings, and even if there's a guy who plays similar to Osman, that can't be a reason to pass. In a rebuild, the primary objective is acquiring talent. The Cleveland Cavaliers started this by selecting Sexton and developing Osman, who's gotten much more run in year 2. Want your voice heard? Join the King James Gospel team. Write for us. Next, the Cavs should use the Rockets pick they acquired on Naz Reid. They need to continue this objective by adding the best players available, regardless of position, in the 2019 NBA Draft. Especially in today's NBA where position-less basketball is a huge trend, the Cavs cannot pass on talent due to their current roster makeup.